Thanks everybody online and elsewhere for coming out to Pitch Day for 100K. It's always a great day to pitch. Today we're going to hear from Brian at TuBiomics. I'm going to ask him why two at some point. I've known Brian for a while and I never asked him that question. I always forget. So hopefully he'll tell us. If not during the pitch, maybe during the Q&A. And then we get to hear from Lauren from All In Recruiting. Welcome, Lauren. It's good to see you again, actually in person. Been a while. And congratulations to Brian and Lauren for getting here today. We screened a whole bunch of companies before we choose the folks who will pitch. And we know it can be quite an ordeal, so thanks a lot for enduring that. StartUpNV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit accelerator and incubator program. We operate seven programs for entrepreneurs or founders, if you prefer, and 4 for-profit investment funds. Our nonprofit is supported by government grants and corporate sponsors in the short term and over the long term by accelerator companies who pledge a tiny amount of their equity to the nonprofit, and our investors who pledge a portion of their profits to the nonprofit as well. That's part of their carry, is what that profit is called. So we run Pitch Day for 100K every other Wednesday, where companies pitch for the Q&A and entry into our accelerator program, and that comes with an investment from FundNV, our pre-seed fund, and that's added to by our investor syndicate, which to date, plus we, on top of what the syndicate adds, then Nevada's SSBCI program matches all of that dollar for dollar. So since 2021, when we started investing, our fund has completed 34 transactions and 23 companies, directly investing $6.7 million, $12 million if you count the money that our partners and the SSBCI program have put in addition to our money. Now, the investments have ranged anywhere from $50,000 on the low end to $4.3 million on the high end. So that's an average of about $500,000 for each investment. So the $6.7 million that we've invested is currently worth $23.3 million. So that's a MOIC of about 3.5x, which from an investor perspective, that ain't bad. That's actually pretty good. So a quick legal disclaimer. The founders pitching today are pitching for investment from our SEC-compliant venture capital funds, along with our SEC-accredited investor and Nevada certified investor syndicates. We invite the whole community to come out in person and online for educational purposes, kind of like going to Shark Tank. And it's critical to our economic development mission in Nevada to sort of teach the community how this works. So once again, the pitches today are not a general solicitation for investment. For information on accredited investor and Nevada certified investor and all that other yada yada you just heard out of my mouth, please visit our website at startupnv.org. End of disclaimer. So our nonprofit work would not be possible without the financial help from grants and sponsors, the chief of which are the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and the USDA. I thank all of those organizations for their support. Super stoked to tell you about AngelNV, which is going to be wrapping up at the end of the month, where at least one company will get at least $400,000 in investment, and hopefully more than one company will get investment. It's looking that way right now, but we're not done yet. So stay tuned, and please come out to attend our finale event on the 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Las Vegas City Hall. You can register for that on our website and on our LinkedIn page as well. There's a link to the tickets to reserve to go to that thing. You'll get to see all 7 finalists pitch, and you'll get to see which one or ones that are picked for investment. In addition to all of that, we have 2 syndicate investments that are wrapping up this week. 2 different Nevada-based companies, both Las Vegas-based companies, are raising about $1.3 million, $700,000 to one company, a little over $600,000 to the other company. 51 of our investor syndicate members are participating in those deals. So if you think it can't happen, think again. Happens all the time. We average about one investment about every 6 weeks. They come in batches, like these 3 are going to all come together, and then it might be a couple months before we get another one in. But they average, 10 investments a year. So it does happen. Couple other announcements. Our Rural Roadshow is coming up in May 15th. We're going to be in Laughlin. May 17th, we're going to be in Caliente. So you can register for those and for our Tribal Entrepreneurial Development Program and our Incubate Vegas cohorts, which are also coming up in May. Those registrations are open on our website as well. So please check out startupnv.org for all that stuff. Get registered for the right programs, and we get ready. We are ready to get started. So Brian, if you want to share your slides, I will wait till they come up, and then I'll get the heck out of the way, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Jeff. Sounds good. Well, thanks to you and to everyone for the opportunity to visit with you concerning TuBiomics as we transition from product development to commercialization. And you can see my slides, very good. So TuBiomics develops mixtures of natural biochemistry for ag and for related markets. The sort of premise that underlies our work is this observation, the background information being that natural biochemistry is generally seen as less effective. It's not really well positioned historically, particularly when you're talking about standalone molecules. And so one of the primary observations that we've made is that biochemistry in ecology, in different kinds of environments, it's really, from an evolutionary standpoint, they're mixtures of multi-mechanistic molecules and biomechanisms. So we take that to heart, and we actually explore mixtures of these natural biochemicals for different markets. And our lead product is our proof of concept for this theory is an herbicide mixture that we call TBH003. It's a very effective herbicide, and in field trials, it's demonstrated an effectiveness that is 3 times greater than some marketed products that stood as comparators. And we're currently pursuing a Series A. We have a diverse pipeline of things that we have been working on. I'm going to talk today about vegetation management. We also have a program in crop protection. That's actually for both outdoor and indoor agricultural settings. We have some work going on in biostimulants. Our greenhouse studies have shown that our mixtures can increase plant biomass from 10 to 20% with very small inputs. Finally, we have a bioinformatics platform. So an AI ML generated and driven toolkit that's in the cloud that looks at genomics and actually looks beyond genomics. And I can talk about that if there are some questions afterwards. We have a good team, the folks who I think can get us over the finish line here for commercialization in the worlds of agronomy, organic chem, computational biology, and then sort of the back office folks. Lots of experience here getting things done, and I'm happy to have them on board. So some corporate details in the background. We are a spin out from the Desert Research Institute, founded in 2017, spun out in the first quarter of 2020. We've had 3 seed rounds of equity financing, raised about 2.75 million. We have no debt. All investors are on equal footing. Some outside participants. We have some corporate investors. Christopher Ranch, the grower down in Gilroy, the largest garlic grower and distributor in the United States. We have the Trical Group, a multinational mid-sized corporation. The state of Nevada has been a constant partner from my days at DRI, being sponsored with the Knowledge Fund, all the way through Battleborn Investments after it was spun out. We have 6 board seats, a nice distribution of talent and experience with 1 open seat. So I'm going to talk to you about the lead platform, the herbicide platform. The sort of value that's been created here has been really tremendous for us. When you deal with herbicides, it's sort of a black and white, either works or it doesn't. And we have really strong demonstrated effectiveness, both in terms of statistically powered field trials where we show rapid onset. We have effectiveness versus broadleaf plants and grasses. We show both pre and post-emergence activity. And what's really interesting for the home and garden market is that we show equivalence, and sometimes we're more effective than glyphosate in terms of our ability to put down unwanted vegetation. We are pointed at 3 large markets. We can talk more about that. There's really broad commercial potential for the platform. There's a low cost of goods. We can create very high margin packaging configurations. The opportunity doesn't have anything manufactured, so there's no CapEx associated with this. It's all blending and packaging of inputs. The platform itself, we have found to be quite extendable. You can substitute the natural chemistry inputs within the IP that we have defined. And very recently, we have found that we have activity beyond herbicidal with the ability to put down insects as well as nematodes, which are a real problem in ag. We filed for provisional patents around the mixture in the fourth quarter of 2023, and we'll finalize that patent here in 2024. If you're a weed person, just worth putting up the wide variety of broadleaf and grassy types of weeds that we're able to burn up with decisive effectiveness. Just some data. We have quite a bit of data. A lot of it is visual. When you use an herbicide, it's kind of the eye test. Is it dead or not? This is the example of a trial done down in the Visalia area in a blueberry orchard, where we put our chemistry up against the two market leaders, Suppress and Axe. The trials are sort of a barbell trial versus the overall control of the weed population, what you can put down, and then does it grow back within 14 days. And on both ends of the barbell, we were decisively better than existing marketed products that would be used in ag. The three markets that we're looking at here, they're big. Home and garden, vegetation management, organic food production, these are all global markets. Home and garden is primarily US, but there is some activity rest of world. What's particularly interesting about home and garden, where we plan to enter just next year, is that Bayer has committed to withdrawing glyphosate from the commercial retail space in the United States, creating a bit of a vacuum. Vegetation management, organic food production, also very large markets. So to give you an idea of sort of the flexibility of the platform and how we're creating opportunities here, the way we began was we started with a 1X formulation, our baseline formulation, but then we found that what we could do is through mixing the concentrations, raising and lowering the concentrations of the ingredients, we could actually create sort of market-specific solutions that have the strength or the features that are appropriate for that particular target. And then we had found that also through some work with our regulatory partner that we could actually create an EPA exempt product. That's what's allowing us to go into the market so soon. It mimics formulation 1X with EPA minimum risk ingredients. And it was really a fortuitous sort of a discovery that we made to be able to get some traction early on. And then to sort of complete the picture across the platform, just last week, we found that with only 0.1 to 1,000th of our 1X formulation, we can put down insects and nematodes, which further expands the commercial opportunity that we have at hand. And again, it's worth reminding the audience that all the products that we're developing are still within our provisional patent claim, so we have some good coverage. So does that EPA exempt formulation equate to the 1X? Does it get the job done? We have found through multiple studies, indeed it does within 24 hours. Things that are sprayed are quite crispy. Again, this is the EPA exempt formulation that we would go to market with just next year on the left. And then on the right is an EPA regulated formulation that would follow thereafter. We took it outside the greenhouse into the field. We found just over the hill in California, some really dense thickets of all kinds of junk. There's all kinds of weeds in there, dandelion, thistle, grasses. And simply with a hand sprayer, covering an area of about 2 feet by 2 feet, you can see that 24 hours later, we've burned up everything that was touched. So quite effective. The why now, the home and garden market that we think is really compelling is that Bayer's on the defensive. Again, they've announced this replacement of glyphosate in the US. If you've been to Home Depot or Walmart and you've picked up the exclusive formulation of Roundup, which no longer has glyphosate, it's only been replaced by as ugly or uglier stuff, dicamba, diquat, triclopyr. These are really, really harsh chemistries that they've replaced glyphosate with. And we think that that's a nice target when you're trying to brand something, create market message around something that's natural and much safer. The question is, hey, are you as good as glyphosate? Well, here's an example study. We have more data emerging where we used our product. Again, this is the A version. This is the EPA exempt version. And the cost of goods for a 24-ounce bottle would be about 27 cents. We compared it to Roundup Plus, which is glyphosate, plus some other ingredients to try to make it more effective. And this is against radish plants. We're on the left, Roundup is on the right, nice lush greenery that we're going to attack here. And do we put it down like Roundup? We definitely do. We're just as effective as glyphosate, but not only glyphosate, but glyphosate plus other ingredients. Cost of goods is attractive. We can create quite a healthy margin, both in terms of a 1 gallon ready to use or a 1 gallon concentrate, which creates 6 gallons of ready to use. We created this home and garden market entry, this model to demonstrate largely one fact, is which because there's no blending, there's no manufacturer, there isn't a lot of misdirected cash flow. You can see that with sales, the free cash flow that can result from this opportunity is really attractive. It's a good sort of an opportunity commercially. And then this rolls up into this. Yes, yep, that's it.
Yep, we are out of time. All right, well, thank you very much, Jeff.
Thank you.
So thanks to Lauren and Brian and to all the folks, the folks that are here in the room. Just a couple of program notes as we wrap things up. Investors, if you're curious about how to become an angel investor or invest in the companies like the ones you saw today, we have a couple of different ways that you can get involved with us. We have a pre-seed fund, FundNV. We're raising our second fund, FundNV2, right now. You can see us online at FundNV2, FundNV.com, and check us out there. We still have some spots left in our Angel NV group this year, Angel NV4. We have about 4 weeks left in the program. We're down to our 7 finalists. So now is a great time to join. A lot of the groups already done the work, so the heavy lifting's mostly done. So you can jump in and learn hands-on angel investing from the ground up. And it's a little bit of fun too. You'll get to meet 40 or 50 other folks who are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. So you can check all that out at angelnv.com and join the fun. And even if you don't want to invest, hopefully you'll come out on the 27th to Las Vegas City Hall, where we're going to have kind of a Shark Tank type of day where our 7 finalists will pitch and our investors will choose the companies that they want to invest in. So even if you're not an investor, it's a fun time. You get food and drinks, and it's a fun time. And our state treasurer, Zach Conant, is going to be kind of co-hosting the event with me. So if you've never met Zach, come on out, and you'll get a chance to meet him as well. And we do have an investor syndicate. It's made up right now of about 300 different investors who've invested in Angel NV, in Fund NV, or in one of our other syndicate investments. And we send out deal memos, I don't know, 5-6 times a year. If it doesn't quite fit one of our funds, or if the timing isn't right, we'll just put a deal memo together and send it out and get investing. So to join that syndicate, just jump on our website, fill out one of our investor interest forms. We'll put you in the syndicate. You'll start getting deal memos and to invest in some of those deals. Sometimes they're as low as $1,500. Most of them are $5,000 or more. But it's a lot of fun to see the deal flow, to imagine yourself investing in some of the companies that come through our deal memo cycle. So please check us out there online. And then finally, our seed fund, 1864. You can find out more about that at 1864.fund. That's a little bit bigger deal. It's a $10 million fund. Minimum investment on that for investors is $50,000, and we generally will invest somewhere between $250,000 and $600,000 as a minimum investment in companies that apply to and get investment from 1864. So you can find out all of that at those various sites that I just said, or you can go to startupnv.org. That's a map to all of them. And then thanks again to Lauren and Brian for pitching today, and for everybody who watched us online. And we'll be back here again in 2 weeks. Are we on in 2 weeks, Maggie? I know we're skipping one here while we're going through.
Right. No, we'll be back on May 8th.
May 8th, because I know as we get down to the end of Angel NV, things get a little hectic. So we skip a pitch day as we're getting down to. So on May 8th, come on back here. We're going to hear from 2 additional Nevada startups at that time. And until then,
I have their names. Protocol.
Okay. Who are they? Who are they? Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't.
Protocol and Nuvo.
Oh, okay. I know both of those companies. They're very cool. Neither are competitive with you, Lauren, or Brian. So we'll see you back here on May 8th, where we'll hear from Protocol and Nuvo. And until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. We'll see you on May 8th. Bye. Or maybe on April 27th. Come out to City Hall. See you there too.